Stitches of love we sew. In this online world we come to grow. Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, where hearts align. Let's embrace the craft and let our souls shine.
Hello everyone, welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop Studio, and this is Seams. It's easy seams. We're going to make this beautiful block here. It has actually 8 Y seams that we can practice on, so if you've been a little, I don't know if I want to, I don't know if I want to try to, this is where you can. Super easy, okay? The best thing is to mark the ends of your fabric. Now this works for the Lone Star, it works for diamond blocks, and it also works for hexagons. This little tip trick right here to make sure that you're getting some beautiful, beautiful seams. So what you want to do is on the edges of your diamond shapes, you have these angled pieces that come down. You want to take your 1/4 inch ruler and just draw a little line where it meets up with the threads of the fabric. Okay, so right there and right there. So that gives us a cross point where we know this is the key point to dropping and stopping our stitches. Okay, right here and right here. Now that does come the same for the hexagons. On every little corner spot, you would do the markings, and then when you go to line up your blocks, you know that you're going to start and stop at those 2 spots to make sure it's a nice pretty seam, and then be able to add in your other one as well. Okay, so that's the best tip and trick that I can give you right there, is marking and making sure you're starting and stopping. Now, when it comes to Y seams, you don't want them to cross. This is where they just meet up. They're just like little buddies just hanging out for, you know, having a snack and, you know, maybe going for a swim or something. But I don't know where that came from. It's summertime. So you just want them to meet. You don't want them to actually cross over. So when it comes to these pieces here, let's just do turn them over. I did mark them permanently so I could show you. And then you can start with your inner triangles here, or inner squares here, okay? And then what you want to do is just want to take one side and lay it down across, and that you have a little bit of a corner on this end and a little corner on that end, and that's making sure that you have a 1/4 inch seam allowance in this direction and a 1/4 inch seam allowance in this direction. So you're going to start and stop at that spot, whether you come this way and stop, or start here and go that way. So it's whatever is up to you, but that definitely gives you the marking spot to make sure that you're going to have some lovely little piecing. Okay, I'm going to drop it right there. And as you go along and make Y seams, it does get easier with time and practice. That's why this is a perfect block to practice with. You've got 8 Y seams. If you say after this you don't want to do Y seams ever again, then at least you gave it a shot. Okay, so there's one part, and we have that little gap where we're needing it for the other piece to add in on this side and then down on this side. Okay. So we're going to add that piece there. You can see where we have our marking. We're going to just scoot it where it needs to be so it's nice and even with the other end. And that's going to be our start stop on this time. Some people I know have folded their project in half and then just sew from one direction down and then turn it around and then sew from that center spot to the next, just to make sure they have that 1/4 inch from the next spot to the other. So there's my little crossover point. There's my little fold of my fabric there. They are just right next to each other. They're just going to meet. I think sometimes you can use a little lock stitch or do a little back stitch just to make sure that's going to stay there. Now when we flip this out, it should be nice and pretty. There, and now we're just going to sew these 2 seams together. And because we started and stopped a bit away from our fabric where those cross lines, we have that space right there to be able to sew our last seam to finish that Y. So we've done this part of the Y, this part of the Y, and now we're going straight down. Okay. Why? Because we're learning. And there we have a beautiful, precise Y seam. No issues. Now, most patterns will tell you to press afterwards, but most likely this square, the main square, will get pressed down like that, and then this usually gets pressed that way, usually. But they don't tell you, they tell you not to fiddle and faddle with it until you're all done. making the block. Okay, so once we get back to the table here, once we get those pieces there, we're going to show you how to add this little piece right there, okay? So we're going to take the big square, move that off to the side there. And in the same principle, we have our starts and our stops on the back of our fabric, or where we're going to go, okay? We're going to take this piece here, I'm going to lay it straight up against it. And make sure we have just that little bit of crossover that we need to make sure that we have our seam allowance in this direction and our seam allowance in this direction. Okay? And then we're going to stop there because I'm going to start at the top. I delivered the quilt to the neighbors with the cows from they go on our property, and it was very well received. Okay, there we go. We have this piece right here. Now we're going to add this to there. And we have our start and stop spot, whichever makes you comfortable. I gotta use it as both, whether it's a start and a stop. The marking is there. It's to aid us to make it so it's beautiful in the end. We put all this effort in to make a beautiful project, so let's try and do the best that we can, learn as we go, share with others. Okay, now we're going to come back to the table so you can see what we have going on here. Now we have just last little Y, so we've done the 1, the 2, and now the 3. Okay, so meet that there, these two edges. And then that little piece right there is folded out of the way, and then you're just going to start and stop right next to that fold. And then come down, straight on down. Okay. Do. And there we go. That's a pretty one. Could we have done a little bit different? Did it get pinched in there? Thought maybe it might look like it got a little pinched in there. Nope, I don't think we did. Okay, and that's, if you just continue on, you're going to make yourself a lovely little star block like this, and you have practiced 8 Y seams. If you have any other tips and tricks to Y seams, please share them in the comments below. We greatly appreciate it here. And of course, this makes a perfect block to go whether you're on point or you can go straight. It's whatever. You can have it just like this as like a table topper or beginnings of a a scrappy project. Add something here. Most people end up cutting this square off to square up the block, and then either doing it this way, or adding other ones to it. So, and you can also add something different in the center if you like. It looks like my points could use just a little bit of work. Maybe that'll be another video. Take care, everybody. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing, and share our channel. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye.